traumas and these things which has happened, it has to be handled scientifically. That there is quite a lot of this. So what happens is a shock gets transferred into our system in multiple layers, not just one layer. So, but a normal incident, normal experience probably will be sitting in one part of our system. But a shock, a trauma, it's spread all over in many parts. So it is even more difficult to take it out. So it needs cotton wool handling. And one method won't suit everybody. There is so much of trauma connected to various types of abuse. But what happens in the society is that we discuss about it too much rather than help to sort it out. I always recommend, like for example, sexual abuse. It's very, very common in the world. And that's giving a person a particular trauma of helplessness, victimhood. So there are some things which happens with it. So when the person is evolving, first and foremost is that the counseling support. You need to counsel them saying that whatever comes have also gone. You are not that incident. You have to go beyond. That awareness we have to give constantly. But and slowly detach the person to channel it to something better. As the person is grown up, the person should engage in similar activities, means somebody else who is a victim, who needs help. So engaging with them, so because this person have experienced, there's nobody better than that person to help similar situation of another person. If this kind of engagement happens, that person will not feel lonely. I am the only victim. There are so many victims. And while in the mode of helping somebody, automatically purgation happens within, purification happens within, not reinforcing and analyzing. When the analysis happens, usually any incident for that matter, an incident happens, mind creates many dimensions of that incident. Imagine it's an accident happens. That point in time, what you felt and what you feel after 1 year are different. Mind manipulates it. Mind tries to give different dimension. So when people analyze it too much, compare it, or even victimize it further, it never goes away. It goes deeper into the system. So from the surface level, it starts dipping deeper. And the more it goes deeper into our subconscious level, they tend to create similar realities. Further, the whole life, it can be probably a traumatic, or even many people did not have good relationships further because of lack of self-acceptance, because they were too much energizing that particular incident which created that problem. So what we should do, first take the attention away and make them more stable or more acceptable by counseling and by the people around. And then also exposing them to similar situations elsewhere. So they get involved with that kind of people, and they understand, okay, this, so I can help them. So they become, when you start sharing, when you start helping, you start growing, you start expanding. So from victimhood to that of a benevolent person, a transition happens. So I always recommend like this. That's why I tell we should have less policemen and more counselors in the world. From a childhood level, if we do, we can do quite a lot of stuff, because there will be less criminals in the world. Many criminals, they have been victimized when they were children. They went through some kind of trauma, some kind of situation where they were helpless, and because of that, anger was created, and then other things happened, sadism and those kind of things. So we can prevent them to a great extent from school level. So I always say you should treat children as future leaders of the country, or at least their houses, and also treat the elderly people as children, because they need completion and fulfillment. So, if we reverse the order in the society, there'll be much more respect towards children. See, one thing which is missing in the society too much today is respect. It's this has to come back. The moment respect comes back, so many things will change. We don't objectify things anymore. We will not look at anybody as an object. We will not. Respect has to come back. I constantly tell this to people. Respect will change a lot of things. Not just for human beings, for birds, animals. See, I practice somewhat minimalism, where I don't waste things. Not the entire hardcore minimalism, but I practice lack of wastage of things. I don't like to waste things. I try my best not to waste anything, and I tell this. So if each one of us respect food, respect water, respect electricity, respect human life, so all of us will be alert and aware and active. Alert, aware, active. That will change a lot of things in the world. But the traumas and these things which has happened, it has to be handled scientifically. That there is quite a lot of this. So what happens is a shock gets transferred into our system in multiple layers, not just one layer. So, but a normal incident, normal experience probably will be sitting in one part of our system. But a shock, a trauma, it's spread all over in many parts. So it is even more difficult to take it out. So it needs cotton wool handling. And one method won't suit everybody. And many people who are addicts to certain things have had many traumas in life. So everything is interconnected. Addiction is an escapism. They don't like the reality, so go to unconscious mode. We are talking about being conscious. So it's a different subject completely. Being fully conscious. Fully conscious means acceptance of this thing completely. I'll give you one example. I had a daughter who died in a road accident at the age of 4.5. I was very deeply connected to her. And when she died, my entire family was paralyzed. My father is an orthopedic surgeon. He is a medical doctor. He stopped doing surgery. My mother was depressed. My ex-wife, she was in her thing. All of us were affected. And a lot of people used to come. This is because this is well before I was known as Mohanji. So when I was 35. This happened when I was 35. Now I'm 57. So it's so many years ago. So the people coming to you, what do they tell you? Oh, how did this happen? So we have to narrate the whole story. Oh, I'm so sorry that you had to go through it. Sympathy. And then after a while, you develop so much of self-pity, you become paralyzed. You can't do anything. What I did, when we have some 10 days, you can't go from the home. After that, I just left for Himalayas. I didn't want to be in the same group. And to some people who came and they were literally pushing you to repeat the whole story again, which I didn't want to remember. It's very, very painful. It's very painful situation, but they make you repeat it. So what happens, it goes deeper and deeper into our system. And then I said, look here, this is my personal sorrow. I'll handle it. I do not need support. And some of them were offended. They were offended. They're trying to help us, but they're not helping us. They're making us more paralyzed. So I decided this can't be. I mean, I lost my daughter. I can't bring her back. She's no more. Whatever I do, she will not come back. So why I should be answerable to the entire society? And then I started Amukher, this organization, in 2003. Through Amukher, now it is 19 years. She's still alive. In 21 countries, so many people are benefited. So now you don't see the scar on my face. I made a pain into a purpose. You can convert any pain, any situation to a purpose. The moment you do that, you have won over it. Otherwise, we are just being victims, victims, victims. Entire society endorses it, and we suffer all our life. You see? So, what I mean to say is that the best way to overcome a pain which is unavoidable in our life is to do something positive about it. Now, Ammu is touching thousands of lives.